Welcome to Shakespeare the Sonnets. Today, we're going to go ahead and do sonnet number 121. Let's get this started with. 'Tis better to be vile than vile esteemed, when not to be receives reproach of being, and a just pleasure lost which is so deemed, not by our feeling, but by others seeing. For why should others, false adulterate eyes, give salutation to my sportive blood, or on my frailties why are failures spies, which in their wills count bad what I think good? No, I am that I am, and they that level, and my abuses reckon up their own. I may be strict so they themselves be bevel, by their rank thoughts my deed must not be shown. Unless this general evil they maintain, all men are bad, and in their badness reign. Alright, so let's get to the basics. Basically, let me choose a different color for today. Basically, this sonnet is about Shakespeare himself going ahead and saying, I think it's better to be evil or vile than have people think that you're evil or vile. That's a pretty big difference. If people accuse you of being evil and vile, sometimes you may actually not be. And so, if someone accuses you of it, at least make sure that accusation is true about being vile yourself. That doesn't make much sense if you ask me, but Shakespeare logic, Shakespeare's sonnet, Shakespeare's logic. You might have not understood me on that. I'm just saying, since this is Shakespeare's sonnet, we must always acclaim and use Shakespeare's logic. Alright, there you go. Now, lots of things actually go ahead and come inside of this one. Next thing that we find out is that, alright, so since you are going to be vile, I think that is just not going to be true for yourself to be some sort of actual personal megamind or something. Like megamind as in the guy, the blue alien with the big cranium from the movie Megamind. What I mean here is that why should people go ahead and corrupt themselves, make them, say, do brain rot and do brain rot things that are obviously not for, well, some people. I'm not sure how Shakespeare actually predicted this. So why should people corrupt themselves to get the wink knowingly at some lustful nations? Why should they go ahead and corrupt themselves, corrupt their minds with full of things, just so that they will get the attention of, say, someone they like? Why should they go ahead and do that too? Lots of people actually go ahead and become transgender or do other things as well too. But then there's an actual literal quote here, this particular line right here. Maybe I'm the one who's straight and everyone else is going ahead and everyone else is the crooked one. Maybe I'm the one who goes ahead and I'm the only one who goes in a straight line, while everyone's lives are always in this crooked line of going back and forth and things as well too. That's just messed up in my humble opinion. Lots of people can do things, but you can't measure my actions. You can't measure your own actions, and by going ahead and comparing it with the thoughts that you go ahead and have, you can't measure this with what's happening here. What you can measure by is, like, you compare it with most people. What do most people, the regular ordinary citizens, do? If most people rioted, well, rioting is the norm, and somehow that could become law. But if most people went ahead and drank water, then just because you drank water and you thought, hey, I think drinking water is bad for me, that doesn't mean that you yourself did an evil action. Like, drinking water is evil. No. You cannot do that. At least you probably shouldn't even do that as well too. Some things that I got to say here is that just some people seem to think that, hey, maybe we are a bit transparent. Maybe we are one of the most transparent people on this planet. There are some areas that we can go ahead and see, while others we can just go ahead and visibly see things and overlap, such as these places as well too. Other times, I personally think that there are people who go ahead and do too much. And I also personally think that those people tend to go ahead and will become excessive in their lives as well too. And so if I go ahead and try to analyze each of these lines one by one, we get this, something like this. Some of the words actually are illogical in my opinion. Being vile. The being here is like being vile. If it's better to be vile than to be accused of being vile. If you're vile, then at least you can get away with being vile as well too. But if you aren't vile, well, you could be accused of being vile, even though you're innocent. And the just and the legitimate pleasure is lost. Yeah. And go ahead and you give salutation to the sport of blood. Well, go ahead and you act on the sport of blood of things as well too, which in their wills, which of course, which willfully goes ahead and does things as well too. You can go ahead and willfully do things, which in their wills count bad when I think good. Willfully, I count the bad things, and what I think is good, that literally what happens. Know that I am. No, I am that I am. Like, the that here is like who. No, I am that I am, and they that level. And of course, it's a who. You go ahead and do the who. Like, I don't know who I am, so I'm going to go try to figure out who I am. I hope you're going ahead and figuring me out with this one. And next up, we have transgressions. The abuses here is actually transgressions. You go ahead, you reckon up their own. You go ahead, have your own transgressions. You make up your own transgressions. And by their rank thoughts, and by your corrupt thoughts, my deeds must not be shown. And because my brain is corrupt, and people think corrupt brain equals corrupt actions, even if everyone else is doing it, because of that, my deeds must not be shown. Unless it's general evil they maintain, unless everyone does this general evil, unless everyone does it too, all men are bad and their bad is reign. If everyone goes ahead and does this general evil, if everyone thinks drinking water is a bad thing, well, all men are bad and the badness reigns. That's it. Everyone does bad things, everyone's evil. With this kind of logic. Don't think everyone who does bad things is evil. If every person who did bad things was evil, well then everyone in this world will be evil. And so that's sonnet number 121. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope to see you guys soon. Until next time, Shanana, peace. Bye bye.